Hello, welcome to Leaky Gasket, and if you checked out the previous video, not the last video, the one before that, you would have found out that my RC car got drowned. So this is a sequel to that, and I'm fixing it. Alright, here it is. The completely flooded MJX Hypergo that drowned in the ocean in last episode, except it wasn't on camera, but it did drown in the ocean. And, well, start off with, it does not roll. And the diffs are pretty hard, especially the front one, and a bit weird. Now the electronics do work, I just have to spin the fan to get it started. I might have to fix that. And the servo works and the throttle does, which I'm not going to test, but it does work. As you can see, the ESC is working and the motor does. But yeah, everything else is pretty destroyed. Look, that's the motor mount. I'm going to make a proper one out of metal. So the first thing I'm going to do is use this 7mm socket and undo all the wheels, check that the wheel bearings are good. So here's one of the drive shafts I took off. It's very rusty, but the bearing that came off with it is actually very nice to turn, except it's extremely rusty. But in all, it seems pretty okay. Might just give it a little bit of a wipe down, maybe a little bit of fly oil even. Now, after nearly stabbing myself with the flathead screwdriver trying to get that second bearing out, they both are pretty good. Just file this down so we can put that back in and test out all the other ones. Here's one of the front bearings, and it's a bit not the best. So, and it can't really be taken out, so I'm gonna hammer it. So that's the old bearing, that's a bit seized, and that's a new one. So I just put the back apart. We can see that the main gear is rusty, but we check the bearings in these. Oh, that's jammed. What about the other one? So the left bearing is completely locked in tight. So I'll just replace it with my spare diff because I hate pulling it apart. But if one of the other discs break, we can always use that one. Alright, we have to get the whole thing off to get this drive shaft off. This is the bearing that's completely not moving. Put a new one in, so now I can put the back end. This is what the car looks like, completely disassembled. Yep. And both diffs have bad bearings, so I'm just gonna have to pull them both apart. The most frustrating thing in the world. So what we got here is a new diff, and we're just gonna put that one on the back because it's an upgraded part, so. There we go. Spins pretty nicely. Now you put some oil on it. I hope the insides are oiled, so we just need to put some oil on the gears. Or grease, actually, this is. Alright, just add that in a bit. And then you chuck it so it's... Right, I'm gonna have to check that. Going forwards. So you have to... Alright, so that's going in the right direction. Alright, that's good. There we go. Now I just need to do even more stuff. So this is the inside the diff. I pulled two apart because it's a bit hard getting the bearings off. So this is the back diff, that's the front diff. And one side of the bearing of the front diff was bad, so I'm just in the rear diff and chuck it on that bit. So then both the bearings work, because I can't be bothered to get the bearings off because the pin is really hard to get back on. So let's do that. So we got the diff and drive shaft in, so I'm going to put a bit of oil on. And then we're going to put some oil or grease on here just to stop it, sand from getting in. It's a bit of a sealant sort of thing. There we go. So we got everything together, and we're going to do like a little... So, this is the servo, and as you know, the mount broke. So, instead of making another wood one, I've got some galvanized tin. Yep, tin, but pretty strong tin. And we're gonna make one out of this stuff. So, here's the mount. Looks pretty cool. Let's chuck it on the car. So I screwed it in place at the bottom, and I held the thing in with Meccano bolts, and the steering works. It's a bit wobbly, but shouldn't be too bad. It's all metal, so better than wood. Alright, so we got all the wheels on, and we're gonna see if it works. Remember, this car was in the freaking ocean. So let's see. Oh, it's not turned on. So one end of the steering works. It moves. I think that's a success then. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.